Alright, this is the tray that I'm getting ready to demonstrate on how to make. I just found these old plaques of wood. You can use any type of wood. You can use something like this, it doesn't matter. Come over this way. What you're going to do is, I just use this because I like how it's already done. You're going to lay it down on your slab of clay, and if you want it longer, I just slide it until you get the length that you want. You can even shorten it. It's up to you, however you want to do it. So I've pre-cut this, so it kind of speeds up this process a little bit faster. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to slide it over here. Okay. Then what I do is I take a ruler, just a regular 12-inch ruler, and I measure out on here just the width of the ruler, and then however long you think you might need to fit your tray. So, you know, you can cut it one for each side. So you're going to need to cut two. You're probably going to have a lot of scrap clay left over, but it's fine, it recycles. Okay, I've already rolled out one. This is my second one. So now over here, what you're going to do, I'll slide that up a little bit. You're going to take it and you're going to roll it out a little bit. This is a little bit too thick. Both of these are cut from the same clay. So it's a little thick. I don't like it to be a little thick. It's harder for it to bend up over the edges. Okay. Then you're going to take your whatever texture you want. I mean, you can buy them, you can use your shoes, whatever. I found this. I don't even know where I found it. I've had it so long I don't even know. So you just take it, roll it, line it back up. You just want to make sure that you get a good texture imprint. I just lightly go back over it. Some of those pieces like to kind of flake up. Alright, what you're going to do is you're going to take that, you're going to flip that over, you're going to score it. I really only score it on the bottom edge. This is what's going to go on the bottom. Okay, you're going to want to lay this edge down nice. You're going to want to just flatten just the edge. Not that I'm flattening the whole entire piece, but just that edge only. Because you're actually adding clay to that. So then you're going to take your slip and I use a paintbrush, just paint it on there. I do the whole thing because you're going to use the whole thing. I don't worry about scratching the underside, but I will use a sponge. You do want to get that edge wet. That's important for later. Alright, then you're going to move this, line that up. And then what I do, I just take my sponge and kind of fan. You can also just take your little roller, you can roll it right on top of there. It's fine, because you want that to have a good seal. But whatever you do, make sure you rub that back with the sponge. And if you want to go ahead and rub all of the texture from the canvas out, you can do that. Alright, then I cut this off, cut that edge off. I just kind of I use a lot of canvas, so I just kind of get it started so it's not going to crack. Okay. And all I'm doing is I'm just lightly pushing that texture over. And then what I do is I just kind of tap down that very last edge just with my thumb. Trying to get it to be even. I take this and I just round that off a little bit so it's all together. take your sponge, do the same thing. I just lightly sponge that area. If you want to go ahead and sponge the rest of that, that's fine. Now, if you want this, the flat part, to have texture, I would actually roll your texture out onto the slab before you do all this, just because it's going to be thinner and warped, and I found you're going to actually have to do it twice, and that takes a long time. And then sometimes you get cracks. So I've already pre-made this one. So all I have to do is slip and score this one. I'm going to score that. I mean, you can kind of crank these out if you get all your pieces cut. Same thing, roll that edge. It's a little bit flatter on that edge. Pick this up. Flatten it out. Use your little roller again. Bring this up. Forgot to cut that off. I want to make sure that that's again compressed down. Make that and just kind of smooth the edges out. Now you can decorate the edges of these. You can put like some little coil or something. I just pick them up and then just smooth them. As far as the handles, I just cut you don't want it to be too thin because then it starts to crack. Now I actually save these pieces and make Christmas ornaments out of them. Crazy. You can use it as a template for that one too, but I've done it for so long I'm a little bit better at it. So you're going to want to, again, sponge. I'm kind of I guess a neat freak when it comes to all these edges being smooth. I like to be able to pick up something and it's nice and smooth and it's not going to be sharp in my hand. Plus it gives it a nice clean edge. I'm kind of working fast on this, so this is more like a demo. So you can take, you know, your time a lot more than I am doing this. I just kind of sponge that out again. Okay, let's do it here. Now I use these sticks. I think this was like an old broom or something, and we just cut it. So what I do is I slide this up under half of it, and you want to go underneath the canvas. What you want to do then is just sort of press a little bit more to that edge. You're just going to press that down. You kind of start to see some cracking. You're going to go back and clean it up anyway. So then you're going to pick this up. You get to determine where you want these placed. You kind of slide that down like that. Hold it in place. Push down. see. That's about good. So you don't want your slab to be too dry, and you probably don't want it to be too wet. If you've been doing pottery for a while, you probably know that happy medium where if it's too dry, it's going to start cracking every time you start bending it. And if it's too wet, then you're going to leave dents in it from your fingerprints. So I try to find that happy medium. The more you work with it, the better it is. Now you can also, I don't know, sometimes I just use tools just to bring up the handle just a little bit. I just kind of smash it down a little bit. So I kind of like my handles up, that way it's easier for someone to grab onto. But everything goes underneath your canvas. Okay. So this is the tray and the platter. So that's basically all you do. Now you can doll it up however you want to. Simple, easy. Let me know how you guys do.